Alright, so an interesting sort of next step to look at is how do you, as a human being, as a person, as whatever, even computers and whatever, handle sort of understanding relative sizes of numbers, right? So we've got, you kind of have an indication here, like, well, this is bigger than this. Like, it's longer. Like, the string of tallies is just longer. So you can kind of visually be like, well, there's more of this than this, right? But once we've moved to abstract symbols, how does that work? Well, you develop a song, right? How do you count? Let's do it somewhere down here. All right, you go, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, right? Like, you learn this sequence. It's like the alphabet, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, right? It's that. You learn a sequence that's programmed into your freaking mind just by repetition over and over and over and over and over. But you know what's interesting? You know what's not in this list? Pi's not in this list. No pi. E is not in this list. No E. Phi is not in this list. Right? Where's Phi? Phi's not in this list. Nope. So those aren't numbers. Just based on your own like experience of numbers, those aren't numbers. Those aren't things you can count to. They're not things that you have in your repertoire. And this gets even more interesting because, so let's just look at fractions, right? So let's take, let's take the space from 0 to 1, right here. This line right here. Boom, boom. Okay? So that's 0, that's 1. Let's do frickin' I don't know. Let's say this is 1/3, right? What is the next number? What if this is a number? Right. If we're going to beg the question that that's a number, what's the next one? Is it this? Well, it can't be because there's a whole bunch of distance between here and here. There's what goes right there? It's 1/3 plus something, right? It's got to be 1/3 plus something. But what is that something that we're adding? It can't be 0. It can't be nothing. It's got to be something, right? But we have absolutely no way to even think of that. It's not a number. It's a different kind of entity. Fundamentally different sort of object from a number. And if that is a different sort of object from a number, that thing that we have to add right there, why would we call this a number? Why is that a number? That's not a number. That's not a number. The things that we have a sequence for are these. And that's it. Why? If you want to come in and you want to claim that these things are numbers, how do you rectify this issue? Because it's not possible. It's not possible to just sit there and be like, oh, well, yeah, this is just like, this is like the preschool version of it. Because it isn't. This is the only version of it that's possible. You cannot have a sequence that takes 1/3 to the next thing. There is no next number, because it doesn't matter how small I go, I can always go a little bit smaller, right? So, say I start with like, okay, if I added 1/3, that would get me here. Oh, that's too small. So let's say I add a 30th. That's going to take me to like here. Well, there's still some space, so let's go 1/300th. That's way down there. It's a lot closer. I'm way closer. But there's still going to be space in there. I can still blow this up and see, like, I can always go smaller, right? So I end up with, I'm adding 1 over infinity? What does that mean? That's not a number. What are we doing? We're playing with fundamentally different things. Right? It's not that this is a different kind of number from this. These are fundamentally different sorts of things entirely. Right? Also, like, really, in order to even get this, we're operating with vectors anyway. These are vectors, that's fine, but they don't translate to a number. Right? This is a pure vector of some sort. This is a vector that sort of correlates to a number. This is a vector that correlates to a number. Right? These guys, this sequence, these are vectors that correlate to numbers. These are not vectors that correlate to numbers. These are separate things. This is pure vector. It's different. It's fundamentally different. And inescapably so. You cannot argue, I don't think, in a coherent way, that 1/3 is a number. You can't count to it. It's not part of your song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's not in there. It's not part of that song. And I think this is actually part of the mystique of things like E and pi. Like, how do you get your head around it? How do you get your head around what is pi, right? So, it's roughly 3.141592653432383469502884197169 something. At this particular moment, that's as far as I. But what the does that mean? What does this mean? That 3 right there. What the hell does that mean? I don't know. You don't know. But it's amazing that you know it out that far. Whoa, this is something special. Ooh. Or, like E is roughly 2.718281845904552, right? You go, well, what does this 1 mean? I don't know. And what does it mean that there's an 8 after it? What does it mean that there's a 2 after that 8? I don't know. You don't know? This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't mean anything. So and it just keeps going, right? It goes forever with just apparently random digits, right? They're set in stone, but what are they? We don't know. I think this is why these fascinate people, these numbers, because this doesn't mean anything. There's nothing in your experience of numbers. There's nothing in actually how numbers work that explains what this means. This doesn't mean anything. It's just the ratio of this to this. That's it. And, there's other things that describe it, sure, but that's what it is. Like, okay. But that's 6 right here. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. So there's gonna be there's always gonna be this mystique around these because you're looking for meaning in stuff that doesn't have meaning, right? And lots of people are always going to do that. And, you're going to look at this, this is a number, because it kind of looks like the numbers. It sort of looks like a 3. Okay? But it's not a 3. And the thing that's just bigger than this is equally impossible to comprehend. And the thing that's just smaller than this is equally impossible to comprehend, as pi is. These are not numbers. There is no sequence. Right? You can't remember a song. You couldn't even write a song. It's impossible. This is nonsense. In terms of, if you're trying to think of it in terms of numbers. This is not a number. This is something different. Fundamentally different.